The Champions is back, ladies and gentlemen, and I tell you now, it's getting very, very juicy. We're up to the quarter-finals, and I could not be more excited. Now, I'm still disappointed that City are out. But I can relax and watch 4 of the most incredible Champions League games this week, and all 4 games, in my opinion, are pretty close. So we're going to get into my predictions on the first leg of the UEFA Champions League quarter-finals. As always, let me know your predictions down in the comments, and while you're down there, hit the goddamn like button because it helps me out more than you can imagine. And if you love football and the Champions League, you should be liking the video anyway. And make sure to subscribe, lots of footballing adventures upcoming. But let's get into our Champions League quarter-final leg 1 predictions. And the first game is arguably the biggest. Arsenal take on European Galacticos, 15-time Champions League winners, Real Madrid. And what a game that it's going to be at the Emirates. I'm sure the Ashburton Army are going to be well and truly up for this game. But yeah, Arsenal, this is their last chance at silverware. They're not going to win the Premier League. Obviously, they're out the FA Cup, they're out the League Cup. This is their only chance. And what are the chances of them beating Real Madrid? Well, if you look on paper and if you look at past meetings, it's 50-50. On paper, okay, Gabriel's now out for the whole season, coming into this game, which is obviously really, really disappointing because he's been monumental in that defence. I mean, Saliba, Gabriel was quite an aggressive, he still is quite an aggressive player, but I tell you what, Saliba has really conserved him, and I tell you, he's one of the best centre-backs in world football, unfortunately. William Saliba, in my opinion, is going to be a Real Madrid player in the next year or 2. That is going to happen, guys. It just is. So we're going to see how he's going to do against his future club at the Emirates. Now, people are saying if they play Yaki Kiwior, they're going to get screwed, and I think especially if they play him at right back going up one-on-one against Vinicius Jr., then probably. Benny Blanco, for me, needs to come back in. He's not obviously got his place back since he was injured. Julian Timber's been really, really strong. But Ben White was a centre-back for Leeds and Brighton and did start his Arsenal playing days at centre-back, so probably I would start him. Maybe Calafiori to come back in at left-back. I don't know, because Lewis Skelly's actually playing really, really well. So there's the Arsenal defence, and can it stop Rodrigo? Can it stop Vinicius Jr.? And can it stop Kylian Mbappe? And for me, Rodrigo's always the unsung hero. He's always the danger man. I don't think Vinicius Jr. had a great 2 legs against Real Madrid. I thought Rodrigo was excellent in the first leg. Another amazing goal for him. And then obviously Brahim Diaz scored a very good goal as well. I think Mbappe was better than what I've seen. He wasn't obviously on the levels of when he played against City at the Bernabeu grabbing a hat-trick, but he was still better from what I've seen from Mbappe this season. A bit inconsistent. On one days he's the best player in the world, on others he can be non-existent. So Rodrigo for me is the danger man, and if Lewis Skelly's marking him, that's going to be the key battle. How can Lewis Skelly hold against Rodrigo, arguably one of the best right wingers in the world? I think Arsenal could win the midfield battle. I think Partey, Ødegaard and Rice are a very, very strong midfield. Obviously, Tchouaméni is a very good player for Real Madrid. Camavinga's not really hit form this season. I think City are looking at signing him. And Valverde might have to cover in at right back again if Lucas Vazquez isn't fit. So I'd love to see Valverde start in midfield because that's where his position is. But that's on paper. I do think Madrid have got a stronger team on paper. I think Arsenal just still about take the defensive side, even though Rudiger's coming back. Courtois should be fit as well, so that really does increase Madrid's chances in goal. I think Arsenal shade the midfield. But then Madrid absolutely hammer the front three compared to Arsenal's. I don't know if Saka's going to start. He probably is, because Arteta loves to bring players back as soon as they've literally passed fit. And obviously Saka scored against Fulham, so I presume he's going to play. But the last time these 2 teams played each other was in 2006 in the 5-6 campaign in the Champions League in the round of 16. Now the first leg finished an astonishing 1-0 to Arsenal at the Santiago Bernabeu with a goal from Thierry Henry. And my mate was actually there to witness that insane moment. He's an Arsenal fan. And in the second leg, it finished Zilch at Highbury, meaning that Arsenal progressed to the final. And they got all the way to the final in 2006. A Sol Campbell header. Then Lehmann got sent off. Goals from Eto'o and Giuliano Belletti finished them off in Paris. And that's the closest that they've ever come to a European Cup. Now, everyone's ruling out Arsenal, and I was the same up until today. I think Arsenal are going to give them a really good game. I really do. I think this is Arsenal's best chance to beat Real Madrid. This isn't the best Real Madrid team that we've seen in the world. This isn't the Los Blancos Galactico Real Madrid that are going to maul everybody in their way. They scraped past Atletico Madrid, albeit with a little bit of double tap luck from Julian Alvarez on penalties. But if Atletico and Simeone weren't defensive minded, they were there for the taking Real Madrid in that second leg, especially after Atleti scored after 59 seconds. And I believe that Real Madrid's experience and Arsenal's lack of experience is what's going to separate them. Real Madrid, obviously 15 times European champions, not playing the best, scraping through games, but that's what champions do. They find a way to win when they don't exactly deserve to win games. And Arsenal, in my opinion, they're still too much of an emotional side. That does stem from the manager. Like Gabriel, every time the ball goes out, yeah, getting the crowd up, everything. It's great once or twice during the game, not every time you shoulder barge someone out. And that emotion really does help Arsenal at times. When they win, they win. But when Arsenal lose, they capitulate. If you look at Arsenal's results, especially when they've been going for the league, when they've lost a game, they've lost 3 or 4 and drew a couple in between. But this season, they've just been inconsistent throughout the whole of this year. I expected Arsenal to be challenging for the title, personally. And Real Madrid are in a two-way battle to obviously win La Liga. I don't know which way that way is going to go between Barcelona and Real Madrid. I think that El Clasico in may decide it. And they've also got a Copa del Rey final for the first time in 11 years, which is going to be a Clasico, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to set a like target, 1,000 likes on this video, and I'll go to one of those Clásicos, either the decider in the league or the Copa del Rey final in Sevilla. So let's go for a prediction. I'm going Arsenal 1, Real Madrid 1. When I'm in this much doubt, I think it's going to be a draw. I don't see Real Madrid going there and winning. If I had to pick a team to win, I'd pick Arsenal. I really would. In terms of a home, like this atmosphere at the Emirates is going to be something that we've not seen. The 2022-23 atmosphere at the Emirates was just absolutely sensational, and I believe that is going to be replicated in this game against Real Madrid. Yes, they've played some good teams at the Emirates, but they haven't played anybody killer, and Real Madrid are killer. They are some of the best players in the world. Arsenal have not played Madrid since 2006 in a Champions League game, so this is going to be a massive game for them, and I think they could use that atmosphere to their advantage. I think Madrid are a better side, but going away to Arsenal is very, very difficult, as City found out in City style this season. So when I can't predict a team to win, because I think Real Madrid just know how to win, but I just don't see them winning. I'm going to draw. I'm going 1-1. Takes that into a second leg. I'm not going to give anything away because I'm going to do a video on the second leg, but it does make a second leg very, very interesting at the Santiago Bernabeu. If Arsenal win this game, it'll really make the second leg interesting. But how do you see this one? I think Arsenal have got one of the best chances that they've ever got. I know they're not great, but Madrid aren't great as well. So I'm going to be watching this game, and I'm really excited to see which way it goes. FC Bayern München take on Inter Milan. And it's a home final at the end if Bayern Munich get there, which is going to give them more determination than ever in any single Champions League game this season. Vincent Kompany's men are 6-point clear at the Bundesliga at the time of recording. This will be recorded before the match day at the weekend before the Champions League. It's actually been recorded on the Thursday. And they killed Bayer Leverkusen in the last round. It's not bad beating your German counterparts who went unbeatable in the season last year, and they're only 6 points behind you. They're still knocking on the door, Bayer Leverkusen. They still could technically win the league, Xabi Alonso's men, even though they crashed out of the cup to Arminia Bielefeld. That was insane. Big up Ortega's old club. But yeah, they bumper-clattered them in the first and second leg. I did not expect the second leg score to be what it was. I expected Leverkusen to challenge at least, and they got really put in their place. I think that's European experience there from Bayern Munich, knowing how to get the job done, having the personnel on the pitch to be able, all right, they won the Bundesliga title last year. We know what they're capable of. The last time that we came here, we lost 3-0 in the Bundesliga. We're going to absolutely rinse them in this game. And they did. And I didn't get it right, so peak. And they're taking on a side in which Bayer Leverkusen actually beat by 1-0, and that is Internazionale of Milano, who are currently 3 points clear in the Serie A. Now, Bayern, in my opinion, I know the Bundesliga is not over, but I think they've won it. Inter, they've still got one hell of a title fight on. Napoli got a big win against, obviously, their Milan rivals at the time of recording last weekend. And I just think that they have got to concentrate on Serie A a lot more on what Bayern have to concentrate on their domestic league, the Bundesliga. And for me, that gives Bayern the edge, but then that's equalised with the fact that the second leg's at the San Siro, and Inter are Italian mafias in the way that they get results. They're going to go there and defend. They're going to go there and play low block. They're going to be happy with a 1-0 defeat. They're going to go for a 1-1 draw, a 0-0 draw, or even try and get a goal and win 1-0. It's not going to be high scoring this game, unless Bayern Munich can break into down early. If Bayern score a goal in the first 10 minutes and then manage to get like a set piece or a penalty or a moment of magic in the next half an hour, I think if it goes 2-0 before half-time, this could be tie over. I really don't see Inter like coming back from depths. If Inter go 2-0 down to Bayern Munich, they're going to have to come out of what they're used to, which is this 5 at the back. And obviously, that allows DiMarco to go up a little bit more on that left-hand side. But I think they're going to get penetrated if they score early Bayern Munich. I really do. I think it could be 4s if Inter concede early. But I just don't think that's going to happen. Their defence is too strong, and I just believe that Inter, they know what they're doing. They well and truly know what they're doing. And I have gone for a very tight one in this one. I've gone with Bayern Munich to win. I've gone with Bayern Munich to win by 2-1. I can see Harry Kane scoring and then Musiala coming up with a moment of absolute magic and maybe giving a goal to like maybe Gnabry or Sane at the back stick or something like that. I do believe Inter will score. If Bayern Munich score 2, Inter have to score. I think it'd be very, very difficult for Inter to win by 2-0 at San Siro. San Siro is one of the most intimidating places in Europe to go, especially when the Curva Nord, which are Inter's ultras, will be behind them nevertheless. But I just think that going away to the Allianz Arena, Bayern knowing that final's there, at home if they can get there, the fact that Bayern smacked Leverkusen quite comfortably, who I thought Leverkusen would go through. That was what I was thinking going into the game. I just think Bayern are too strong for him. But it's crazy to think that Vincent Kompany got relegated with Burnley last year, and now he's potentially thinking about a home Champions League final if they get this right. It's unbelievable. Can you guys see Bayern Munich beating Inter? I'm not too sure. I'm hesitant on this one. I'm going Bayern to win 2-1. That's my prediction. It's locked in. Barcelona play Borussia Dortmund in what is going to be a fascinating game in the quarterfinal of the Champions League, with the first leg going to be at the Estadio Luis Company, the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona, with the second leg coming at Signal Iduna Park. Now, these two teams have already met. They met in the league stage. My mate actually went. He said it was an absolute belter of a game. And Barcelona came from 2-1 down with 2 late goals in the 80th minute, between 80 and 90. Can't give you the goal times exact. I think it was 81 and 84. How is my ball knowledge? They'll put it on the screen. The editors will put it on the screen. Let's see how close I was. But yeah, they came for 2-1 down to win by 3-2. And if you can do that away at Dortmund, that's quite telling, in which I'm seeing the way that this game is going to go. If you can win 3-2 away, you should have no problem theoretically at beating Borussia Dortmund at home. But this is later on in the competition. This isn't the group stage. This isn't the league phase or whatever you call it now. This is the quarterfinals. And I know Barcelona are no mugs, but they haven't shown recent sign of progression until this season. Obviously, they were eliminated to PSG in the last year at the round. I think it was quarters, actually. Yeah, I think it was quarters. So they were eliminated this time last year to PSG. So we're going to have to see how Barcelona now get on. But I think this is a different breed of Barcelona. I think, for me, they're my winners at the moment. I think Barcelona are going to win this thing from what I've seen so far. There's only one other team that I think will gun for Barcelona, and we'll come to them later on in the video. Well, there's only one game left, so that means it's PSG or Aston Villa. It's PSG. But it's going to be a difficult game for them. No easy game is here in the Champions League, especially at the quarter-final stage. Borussia Dortmund are there. They're not there for merit. I know they're 10th in the Bundesliga, but they're not there for merit. They got to the final last year for a reason. They know how to get the job done in big games. They've got some good players, and I think they did go 2-1 up against Barcelona, and if it wasn't for a poor last 10 minutes, they probably could have won that game. But for me, I just don't see a way in which Barcelona win this game. But for me, I don't see a way in Barcelona that they're going to win, in my opinion. Now, I was at the game against Benfica, and they absolutely crushed them in the first half. The job was done. The game finished 3-1, and the job was done in the first half. They absolutely rinsed them. 2 goals from Rafinha, potential Ballon d'Or candidate, and Lamine Yamal scored an absolute beauty. He can cut in on that left foot, and he can send the ball into the top bins anytime that he wants. He is an utter baller. And I tell you, Rafinha is very underrated as well. He had another storming game. He got the game going literally on 5 minutes. And to beat Benfica like they did, very, very convincingly, after getting an away win as well, it's telling. The top of La Liga as well, they're going to go one-on-one with the title against Real Madrid. Like I said previously in the video, that Clasico is probably going to be the decider if Madrid still keep up with the pace. I just don't see a way in which Barcelona don't win this league at the moment. And then they've got the first El Clasico Copa del Rey final in 11 years. And they've already stuffed Madrid 9-1, 9-2 over the course of 2 games. A 4-0 win. Yeah, 9-1, a 4-0 win at... Is it 9-1 or 9-2? I think it's 9-1. I'm going to go with 9-1. A 4-0 win at the Bernabeu and then a 5-1 win in Saudi after going by a goal down. And what a response that was. I watched that game on stream. It was just incredible. And that's what Barcelona can do. They've got the players to be able to switch it on. They've got some of the best youngsters in the world. Kabati's going to be back as well after his suspension. You've got Pedri. You've got Gavi coming back after his injury. You've got Firmino. You've got Caicedo. You've got, obviously, Yamal, Rafinha. And then it's got old heads as well. Lewandowski bringing that experience. Koundé, in my opinion, bringing that experience. Balde's another good youngster. I don't know who's going to be in goal, whether it's ter Stegen or Szczesny, but they've got great experience too. And this is obviously last chance at a trophy for Borussia Dortmund. They're out of the DFB Pokal. They're not going to win the league. They're not even going to get in the top 4. So this is their only chance at qualifying for the Champions League. So this is the game for them. And the fact that it's at Borussia Dortmund at Signal Iduna Park in the second leg does give them an advantage, but it also does mean that if Barcelona kill them, which they are well and truly capable of doing, this could be over in the first leg. And I think it will be over in the first leg. I'm going Barcelona 3, Borussia Dortmund 0. I just don't see a way in which Barcelona don't pan them, because Dortmund, yeah, they're all right, but they're not Barcelona. Like, Dortmund are a good team. I'd say a great team, between good and great this season, because 10th in the league is not great, is it? But Barcelona are world class. They are on another level. I've just gone through some of their talent, and that's just some of the, like, they've got more talent everywhere they look. There is talent on that Barcelona pitch. There's youngsters everywhere. Pedri ran the midfield. De Jong is pretty good as well in that CDM. I just don't see a way in which Barcelona kill them. Like, they are so good this year, Barcelona, and I think they're going to go all the way to the final. Albeit, it'll set up a tasty game, whoever they play, between the Bayern Munich and Inter, other side of the draw. So yeah, there's going to be some good semi-finals this year, all being well. But Barca to kill Dortmund, 3-0. Do you guys agree? Let me know in comments. And that brings us on to the 4th and final game this match week. Paris Saint-Germain versus Aston Villa. PSG, the most informed team in the world right now. And who called it? Who else on YouTube took an absolute ton of flack and said that PSG are going to come back against Liverpool and stun Anfield? They're my words. Play the clip.
Who is going to win the 2025 Champions League? Time to predict it. Liverpool stunned the Parc des Princes by beating PSG, but PSG will retaliate, and they're going to stun Anfield and KO Liverpool. You heard it here first. Villa to get past Bruges.
And look at some of the comments. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one there. The comments went for me. TikTok was really nasty. But yeah, I called it right. Liverpool got a miracle win in Paris. They got absolutely battered for 90 minutes. I've never seen a more one-sided game. And somehow they won. And somehow they came out and won. And that was no discredit to PSG. PSG did absolutely everything. They came up against the best goalkeeper in the world on his best night in the world. And that's what Alisson Becker can do. And that's what I think City are missing. That's what I think City are missing, a goalkeeper like Alisson. Because any other team get battered that night, really, they do. PSG were that good. And this is the Liverpool team that is convincingly going to win the Premier League. Like, convincingly. They've been the best team by an absolute mile. And they're deservedly going to win the Premier League by an absolute margin as well. Although it's been a very boring season and no one else has been able to compete, there's no skin off Liverpool. They've been ace and deservedly going to be crowned champs. But let's talk about Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. The front three, obviously, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele is playing very, very well. And then Barcola as well. The midfield with Neves playing brilliant. Zaire Emery playing brilliant. And then you got the defence with Marquinhos. De Boer is playing really, really well. The lad that scored the winning penalty. I tell you, everybody's playing well. Hakimi, Donnarumma made some good saves at Anfield. Didn't really have too much difficulty. Didn't really have a lot to do. Didn't really have too much difficulty in that game. But he made a couple of good saves when he was needed. Nuno Mendes is playing very, very well at left back as well. The whole team is just brilliant. From start to finish, it's brilliant. And this is a PSG that we've never seen before. They're hungry, they're driven, they're passionate, they're working as a team. This is the key word, team. Something that Paris Saint-Germain have never had. Because they relied on individuals. You've got Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, all in the same front three. And they got nowhere. You got Sergio Ramos in there that have played as well. Ibrahimovic has played there as well. David Beckham at one point was over there as well. For me, the board got it wrong. Qatar got it wrong. They got the managers wrong. Even though Thomas Tuchel was a good manager, it was the wrong principle that was going on. They were relying on individuals and some average players alongside. Now, they've got 11 players that are hungry, that want to work, and that are destroying anybody in their way. And they really, this is PSG's year. This is PSG's year. They will never, ever, ever get a better chance of winning this competition than now. They really won't. If they get past it, Aston Villa, let's say, they've got a beatable team between Real Madrid and Arsenal, then you've got a final. And I really do think this is PSG's time to win the Champions League. They will never, ever, ever get a better chance than this. So do you guys think it's PSG's year? Let me know in the comments. But they're taking on a very, very good Aston Villa side who had just reached, obviously, the FA Cup semi-final, in which they've got a game against Crystal Palace. The Villa fans will not be happy about that. They've got a terrible record against Crystal Palace. But yeah, they beat Brighton in their recent game coming in the recording. Marco Asensio's on fire. It's his return to Paris. I mean, going to be interested to see him going back to PSG because of how well he's playing for Aston Villa. Milan scored a goal against Brighton, so he's been playing okay. And Marcus Rashford, what a turnaround for him. He's working hard, he's tracking back, he's getting assists, he's scoring goals, and he's having fun. He's got a smile on his face playing football, and that's what it's about, and that's what Rashford lost. He lost his love, and that's what... It seems that Manchester United do that to a lot of players. Look at Sancho at Chelsea, look at Anthony at Real Betis. I could name a lot more, but... Marcus Rashford, it's good to see a smile on the lad's face. Villa are playing well. They're only 3 points behind City now in the Premier League. I do think they're going for a top 4 push. They're obviously looking for an FA Cup. I don't think Villa are expecting to get past PSG, but the fact that the second leg's at Villa Park, and if they go to PSG and get a result like Liverpool did, it's not impossible. Liverpool did it. They soaked up pressure for the whole 90 minutes and then hit them on the break with literally 2 shots the whole game, and Harvey Elliott scoring. So it's possible. It really is. Like, they only just beat, PSG only just beat them on penalties. They probably should have scored 6 past them in the first leg and another 3 at Anfield, but they only beat them on pens, so it is possible for Aston Villa. Just don't think it's going to happen. I can see Villa scoring, though. I can see Asensio just popping up with a goal. Maybe to score first, and then it'll really wake. I just don't know what PSG are going to show up. Are they going to go and kill them from minute 1, or are they going to bide their time, tire out Villa, and then kill them from minute 60? That's how they did against City, but they tried to kill Liverpool from minute 1 and it didn't really work. It did in the second leg because they got themselves an early goal, which is what they needed. But for me, I'm going to go PSG 3, Aston Villa 1. I can see Rashford or Asensio popping up with a goal, but I just think PSG are too strong at home. If that happens, can Aston Villa overturn a 2-goal lead at Villa Park in the second leg? I don't know, but I just want to see how good PSG are, and I really want them to do well because it's about time somebody different won it this year. And if it's not Barcelona, for me, I want it to be PSG. They're the 2 teams. That would be a great final if we got it. Barcelona versus PSG. A new winner. Barcelona haven't won it since 2015, and PSG, well, they've never won it, so the Champions League virgins. So it'd be good to see another name on the trophy before Arsenal. So there is my Champions League quarter-final predictions. As always, let me know yours in the comments. Will Real Madrid stun Arsenal at the Emirates? Or can you see Arsenal getting the win against Los Blancos at home? Can you guys see a shock in the second game of Inter Milan? Can you guys see a shock at the Allianz Arena? Or can you see Bayern Munich potentially getting back there for the final? How do you guys think that one's going to fare? How do you think Borussia Dortmund are going to get on at Barcelona? Do you think they can do better? And when they played them in the groups, they got beat at home in the groups. Can they overturn it and get a memorable away win or a draw to set up a great second leg? And how do you think PSG will fare against Aston Villa? Can Good Evening work his magic in the Champions League again? This time in the French capital? 1,000 likes and I will go to the El Clasico at one point, either the Copa del Rey final or if it's a Champions League final, I might go to that. I don't know. Make sure to smash the like on the video down below. 1,000 likes and we'll be going to an El Clasico this season. It'll be my first El Clasico as well, so I'll be absolutely buzzing for it. And the Champions League is back. I honestly can't wait for these fixtures. They are going to be amazing. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the comments. It's so hard to call. I'm probably going to get it all wrong.